Yeah, the Argentinian peso has been devalued at least 3 times, like it's basically zero. Yeah. And, you know, if you've lived in that market, you have a different view about crypto than, you know, if you grew up in Darien, Connecticut. Because I continue to hear people, you know, fight the fight about KYC or things. It's like, my attitude is you're never going to win. It's not about what your ideology is for crypto and anonymity. I respect, and I tend to not comment about my own personal views on that. I'm a pragmatist about building Ripple, and I think we should be pragmatists about seeing the crypto industry evolve. The fundamental regulatory regimes like KYC, AML, they're not going away, and you can fight it all you want, and it will inhibit your growth as a company that's crypto native. Yeah. Our really first acquisition, we acquired a custody company called Medico, based out of Switzerland in June. And you know, for us, that's just kind of an extension of, we already sell into financial institutions. You know, some of them come to us and want custody capabilities, even to use some of our technologies. We were partnering with custody companies, and so we felt like that made sense.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, you know, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, you know, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, well, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Sonali Basak. Sonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told his members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will. During that auction that we saw a little bit before, the attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets. Now,
it was not just a poor auction; it was absolutely lousy. And you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a Treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book. Remember, the New World Order book shows you how the world really works, and it is definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep, especially in the times that we're in right now. And 2024 is going to be one of our most entertaining years. We have the presidential election. We have the drums are beating. We have the emerging markets going to be flipping the switch on the fourth industrial revolution. Now, we had the Fed signal rate cuts, but remember, guys, they haven't cut rates yet. So we know the master magicians are about to set up that distraction. So therefore, they can cut rates while we still have inflation. And in the fourth quarter, once the election is over, we know the movie begins. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And right now, we have Bitcoin and crypto pulling back. Guys, don't forget, yesterday we had options, but on the weekend, we're the only game in town. So make sure you're getting yourself in position. Now, all the news yesterday was about Ron Kitty. At the same time, Putin is giving his speech on the new payment system. Guys, do you think that was by coincidence? We know the sheep stay distracted on things that don't matter. And CNBC was pushing Ron Kitty, not giving any news on Putin. It is definitely amazing. Remember, guys, your life is an illusion and TV is your reality. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now, make sure you're paying attention to the actual indicators. We had yield rates move up on the good jobs report, and then on top of it, the ECB and Canada making a move. We have the dollar up. We have volume in crypto right now up. We have Tether and USDC, and then we have the Fed. Repo at $395 billion. Make sure you're pulling that during the week on a daily basis. Now, we had Canada and the ECB cut rates, and now the Fed is up on Wednesday, and we know they're not going to cut rates, not just yet. We know we're going to get a rate cut this year, but because inflation is still here, jobs are still strong, as they want you to believe. We know once they revise it, they're going to revise it down. But in the media, they push the narrative that the economy is doing great. But we know majority of people are picking up a second job just to make ends meet due to all this inflation. But we know in this meeting, Jerome Powell is just going to say it's going to be data dependent, and they are looking at rate cuts later on down the road. Now we have Arthur Hayes says the crypto bull market is reawakening amid Bank of Canada and ECB rate cuts. Is that true? No, it's not. The reason why the market is pumping right now because we saw all the manipulation. We saw all the pieces down to the repo. Now the Treasury is doing buybacks. We know they have the bail-in bonds ready. Every single time the market is pumped, we can look at the central banks or the Treasury. And the big pumps in the stock market only went to 7 stocks. And even if you look at cryptos, Bitcoin and Ethereum control majority of the market cap. And that's not by chance. Remember, guys, this is all for the 4th industrial revolution, where the robots, algorithms, and drones take the economy over, pay each other with crypto, and the sheep go inside the metaverse. Now, don't forget about the spot Bitcoin ETFs. We have BlackRock, Fidelity, and Grayscale all closed down. Now, we have the U.S. spot Bitcoin ETFs achieve record-breaking 18-day streak of net inflows. Now, getting over into a little crypto news. We have Base overtake Optimism mainnet, becoming the largest Layer 2 network and OP stack Base superchain. Now, we have DeFi total value lock reach $192 billion for the first time in 15 months. And guys, we know DeFi is definitely the new banking. Now we have crypto custodian Bakkt is considering a potential sale or breakup. And don't forget, Bakkt is backed by New York Stock Exchange. So they easily could have made big moves. And then we know once they went publicly traded, they got rid of a lot of cryptos. And they just partnered with Crossover to launch an ECN crypto trading venue for institutions. So again, with all this technology, they can easily make big moves because they have big money behind it. So only thing you have to do is sit back, get your popcorn, and let it play out, because we know it's something bigger behind the scenes. And then lastly, guys, we have Garlinghouse on fiat. And in the emerging markets, they're running to stablecoins because the fiat is dying. And then he touches bases on KYC. And Garlinghouse stated a long time ago he's working with the banks. There is no reason why you should know every transaction that I'm making, especially if I'm just a regular citizen. That's the whole point of cash, whole point of coins. I make a transaction, I go buy a piece of gum. You don't need to know that. Anytime you make a big purchase, a car, house, there's records anyway of that. But he doesn't want to fight KYC because it's attached to digital ID. And that's the reason why these NFTs are going to be so important. And then plus, if you look at everything Ripple has done, of course you have payments, but then you have custody, then you have the CBDC platform. They're nothing but a bank. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But that's all I have for you. Don't forget about the books, Crypto Teacher, and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know, I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID 33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.